Hey, how you doing? That music kind of throws me off a little bit. I sort of expect somebody else to start talking. I forget I'm supposed to. But anyway, I couldn't help putting the image of that moon on there from last night. It just looked pretty cool. But anyway, I got some pretty good images from last night of some objects out there flying around, and I certainly don't know what they are, but I'll share the images with you here. Now, this particular series of photographs here are of the same object, but they're, the images are kind of dull. So what I'm going to do is just brighten them up like that so you can see what's going on. And I kind of think this is two objects here flying along together. Got one right here and this other one here. And you can see how it expands from this condition here to this here as it's flying along. And you get that blink on the infrared when it does that. That's how I got this series of photographs here, was on the infrared. And then I started taking pictures as it was going. Interesting, without a doubt. But I don't have a clue what it is. I mean, the more I look at these, the harder it is to tell if these are made by somebody, either for, here on this earth or from somewhere else, or if they're alive. It's just really, really hard to tell. Again, here, I think we got two objects. This one here was right here, and it expanded, okay? And this one here is this one here, and it expanded. So what's going on with these things, or why they're made that way, I don't know. But if they're alive, then they're just up there flying around and having fun, best I can tell. Now, I got a different one on infrared here that I'll show you, going behind the tree. And of course, I just caught it at the last moment. It looked extremely similar to one I got the other night. Now here it is coming along here behind the tree, and you can see it looks like, to me, it's sort of swirling the light. And when you look at the photographs, you'll be able to understand why it's got that swirl, kind of a spin look to it, because that's actually what it's doing. So in the infrared there, it just looks like a light. And here is a video of it taken with the 900. And then I'll show you a couple images of it. And it's really hard to coordinate, between switching from the infrared to the video and the camera to taking photographs. And I'm doing the best I can here to get a visual record of these things, whatever they are. Now this right here is a tree branch, okay, when it was behind the tree there. And you can see here it's going through a cycle of some kind. It's called the top here and the bottom, and it's shutting off and expanding as it's going. No telling what it's doing behind the tree there. But again, it's expanding here, and you can see it kind of change angles here from right here. So this is where it's getting that spin or swirl effect as it's viewed on the infrared. And then you can see it almost close completely down right there. So this is a interesting character here, and it's a little bit different, of course, in color and I think performance as the earlier red colored ones were. But I mean, look at the energy level of this thing. I mean, it's just incredible. Now, I don't know if that thing's as hot as it looks like it is, but if it is, I'm kind of glad it's at a distance, because, man, that looks like it could fry your bacon, doesn't it? But now this image right here, I find very interesting. I mean, because it shows you the waffle shape, or the honeycomb shape right here, and the thickness and the expansion right here that it's going through. And you can see right here as it was toned down, and then it expanded right here. So I mean, that thing is just all over the place as it's flying through midair. So I don't know if it's some kind of material, or if it's a life form, or exactly what's going on with that thing. But now, if it's material, then you've got what I would think would be opposing magnetic fields. In other words, you'd have a difference in the magnetic fields here and here, and then you'd have some type of metamaterial in the middle, or some kind of compound that this magnetic field, or is generating an electric pulse going through this material here in the middle that's causing it to expand. So, but if it's alive, then wow, they're just up there flying around having fun, right? So here, let me show you a little quick infrared here. Again, you can hardly tell are those airplanes in the distance or not. So what you do is you take pictures of them, and lo and behold, those are not airplanes. But again here, what I think I'm looking at here is two different kinds flying together. This one here is this one here, in my opinion. And this one here is this one here. So, what they are, I'm not sure, but I think that's how they go about flying around. They often travel in pairs. Now, let me show you a couple pictures I took during that infrared series there. Is the sequence of photographs of them, and you can clearly see those are not airplanes. Now, that first photograph there, let me zoom in on the two on the bottom there. There's some kind of highly intense orbs of some kind. I mean, you can kind of see the expansion on them, and the outer shell and the inner core is highly energized. And I'll show you the one up there at the top in that photograph. You can see the plasma field all around it, when it's not fully energized. That's what it looks like to me. So, what's causing that, or how it's doing that, I don't have a clue, but all I can do is take the photographs. I mean, when you enhance it and you get to looking at it here, it really does look like some kind of a life form. But man, I wouldn't swear to it. I mean, as smart as some people are out there, and some of the technology that they have, and the things that they're doing with the nanoparticles and metamaterials, it's just hard telling what, really smart people can come up with. But it sure does make for some interesting photographs, that's for sure. Well, anyway, thank you guys for subscribing to the channel. I really appreciate it, and hopefully you'll tell some other people about it, because Google and YouTube sure are not going to do that. So anyway, thanks for watching the video, and be sure and take care no matter what you're doing out there. Thanks again.